the business knowledge broker.
Hey, yo, Guru, you ready?
Business.
Greetings, guys. This is Candace Joseph. Listen, we are here for the Business Knowledge Broker Hour. Look, the most motivational and inspirational talk in business. Y'all already know each and every week it is my goal to give you the best in entrepreneurship, nonprofits, community activists, and advocates. And look at everything that's going around the globe, right? So listen, we are back here in the studios. Listen, it's a little bit of a different vibe for us today, but you know what? We're going to push through. And the reason why is because it is year 5 of the Business Knowledge Broker Hour with Candace Joseph. So I'm going to give myself a quick whoop, whoop. Woo. I know, right? But you know, I have to say, reflecting on 5 years of being in media has truly been a true gift. And each and every week, I get to bring the gifts to you. So today, I want to introduce my guest. She is... man, what can I say? She's one of those women that's out here pushing the envelope and what's needed in today's society to be on your best foot forward and to really just kind of get involved in the community. She is a woman who is truly an inspiration to me because every time you see her, she has a smile on her face. She always jumps in and say, hey, where can I help? It doesn't matter if it's something big or something small. She's always there in the background. And she makes the biggest impact. So, for the Business Knowledge Broker Hour, I want to present Debra Davies.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. And just to share a tidbit about my business journey and also more about my business. So once again, my name is Debra Davies. I am the founder and CEO of OrbitualPresentations, a professional consultancy that strives to help people gravitate towards a more improved version of themselves through public speaking and professionalism, because we understand that it's kind of tough to find a job. Like not having the necessary resources for our Black and brown communities, that is something I strive to be an advocate, be a resource to my community. So that's really what led me to the creation of my business.
Well, you know, I have to say, right, when you sit over your information and I was looking at it, I was like, yeah. And the reason why is because a lot of times when we go out in the world, sometimes we're not really sure how to present ourselves. Yeah, we take classes, different things like that. We hear how people get up in front of people and they can just naturally speak. But for some people, it's not that way. I've seen people struggle with ordering their food at a restaurant. Like I've seen it, right? So when I saw what you did, I said, okay, I get this because it's a part of a bigger picture. And it's something that we really all need to know. But this is the thing. I want to take it back. Tell me about your journey. Like, tell me about your journey from, because I've seen you everywhere. You have done a lot of things. You know, you have been a pageant holder, all of that. I've seen this journey for the last few years. I want you to tell people a little bit about your journey that led you up to OrbitualPresentations.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So my journey really starts about my upbringing. I grew up in a Liberian household that you was meant to do great things. They always told you education comes front. You know, you only have 2 options, either be a lawyer or a doctor. And luckily, I loved policy, so the legal route was also something. But I knew God wanted me to follow the passion of being a servant for my community. So everything that I was doing from a teenager to high school to college to even now, it was always meant to just follow the path God has for me, which was to be a servant of my community. And so when I was Miss Juneteenth Queen, I still uphold those principles of public service, giving back to people who came before me or even the next generation as well. During my reign, it was during COVID. And so I didn't have too much ability to be out there, but I still made way to be a servant through food banks, through drives, through etiquette trainings for the younger generation of women and also men as well, too, because this is not just women who need those training. Then to joining organizations that propelled me even more in different avenues of public service, from Iota Phi Lambda Sorority Incorporated to the Houston League of Business and Professional Women's Incorporated as well, to other organizations that propelled me to then lead me to great heights of accomplishments. And so having all those opportunities led me to great mentors like Dr. Thomas F. Freeman, Dr. Doris Ellis Robinson, Dr. Johnson, and a number of other individuals, and Dr. Linda Calloway. Those people, they became my village, my family, but then also having a village as well. And people who are not even related to you, they lead you to different avenues of what's meant for you in great capacities and skills. And so during my time at Texas Southern University, I kept seeing my peers not knowing how to brand themselves or market themselves or even give a simple class presentation because they didn't have the skills growing up. They didn't have the village or had mentors like I did. So I was like, how can I make sure I'm an avenue for my peers? And so we have to understand that the gift that God has given you, share with other people. You must love your neighbor like you love yourself. So if you are a singer, don't let your gifts go to waste. Share it how you can share with other people. So God gave me the gift of public speaking and to just share positivity. So that's what my business is incorporated with. Professionalism, public speaking, and sharing positivity. That is why our motto is gravitate towards a more improved version of yourself. And so we're here to people.
Ooh, listen, it gives me pride when I hear you talk about, the great mentors and stuff that you had along the way and how they help pave your love for language and your love for community. I absolutely love that. But what was your aha moment where you said, okay, I have to put this formulation together in order to bring it to the community so that they can make those presentations, get those job interviews done correctly, go out and represent themselves in their best version? What was your aha moment that said, yeah, I'm going to turn this into a business?
My aha moment was when I was in spaces and I looked around, I was the only black and brown girl.
Yeah.
I was the only HBCU grad, or I was just the only female in spaces. And I did not really like that because I'm like, my peers are educated, they're smart, but why are they getting overlooked? Because the white counterparts, they know how to market and brand themselves from an early age.
Yeah.
We don't have that ability in our community. And so I saw that and I was like, yeah, I have to be able to be a solution to the problem. And so that's what was really my aha moment, seeing the fact that some of my peers, they're like, oh, I didn't know about that. Or how did you know about that internship? Or how did you know about that resources? Yes, I had the privilege of having great mentors and a great village, but some people don't have that ability. And so I wanted to make sure to extend that hand to other people.
Thank you for being a part of the village.
Thank you.
It's rare that you see someone with your gift, right? And it's truly a gift. And I'm glad that you do not hoard it. And it's one of those things where I've seen you literally walk in any room. You make anybody like automatically comfortable. So I already know if I was to take, be a part of like the customer base for your firm and get that consultation from you, I already know you're going to make me feel at home. You're going to say, okay, let's try a few things, right? But what does a consultation with you look like exactly?
So it looks like a tailored but professional like therapy session in a way that leaves you with like, okay, let me now understand that I'm capable of greatness. Yeah. Because the reason why I developed that motto of gravitate towards a more improved version of yourself, because I was like, okay, any form of improvement someone makes, you have to give them their flowers. You have to understand that they're capable of greatness. And so when I'm telling my clients like, okay, so what is it about public speaking that scares you? Or tell me about your journey when it comes to public speaking. And I had a client tell me, it's like she had people tell her, oh, you're not good at speaking, or you don't know how to do this. Wow. First I had to tell her, you are capable of anything you put your mind to. Gravitate towards that person that you know is destined for greatness. And so I always have to be that comforting, but also channel in the Dr. Thomas F. Freeman way as well. But let them know, is this like sometimes we hold ourselves back when we listen to the outside noise.
Look, but you said, you gave a nugget there, right? You gave a nugget. You say, gravitate towards the people that are geared for greatness, that are headed in that direction. I absolutely love that. Why is it important for our youth to get a hold of that message? Why do they? Because I feel like they really need it more than most, even though I'm a part of the older generation. I know I need it, but I feel like today's youth, they really need it, yeah.
I agree. As we see what's happening with our youth right now, they're battling so many different types of issues, from mental to physical to social and economic as well. So our youth, they need to understand, gravitate towards people that you aspire to be like. And it goes back to like us being able to have that representation. This generation, they have people they can look up to now.
Yeah.
So it's just like they need to be like, okay, how can I be like the next, Jasmine Crockett, or the next Barbara Jordan, or the next person, or the next leader in my community? It's like, if you aspire to be like them, try to like gravitate towards that. Or sometimes, like, I believe God will lead you to those people. I really strongly believe God led me here. He led me to the people that was meant to me.
Yeah.
And sometimes people won't make it through your journey, but our journey is our journey. So everything will work itself out. Trust me.
Look, I totally get that in every realm. And every day I try to create impact, right? Even in the smallest of ways. I love what you said about gravitation, because a lot of times we don't necessarily know we need a village until the village is like upon us. Like, I was one of those people that, when you grow up, you hear about how every kid needs a village, But I've learned over the years that even as an adult, I needed a village. And the thing about it was, one day I think I just took a hard stop, and I didn't know that I already had a village around me. It was just that I was a person that did not know how to tap in to that village. I didn't know how to tap in. So how do you tap into your village? Because you definitely have one. How do you tap in?
So how I was able to tap into my village was to just mindfulness. I had to stop and realize, it's like, okay, why are these people around me? What is their purpose of being like close to me? What is my purpose of being close to them? It's just like, it's like a pull, like a push-pull effect, because people are around you for a reason. You are an energy. Like, people gravitate towards you, or you gravitate towards them, because sometimes who you gravitate towards you is a reflection of you.
True.
So if you pull near people who are determined and driven, that shows who you are. And if you pull next to people who are not like that, that shows you is just like, okay, maybe they're meant to pull for you, because you are their inspiration. You are their inspiration. You're like, okay, I was meant to be the resource for them.
Yeah.
Or the other way around.
Yeah.
So it's just like, sometimes you don't even know that you have a village, but when you're like, okay, why is this teacher like, always on me, like, oh, you need to get your work done? That's someone who believes in you. That is someone who sees the greatness in you. And it's interesting, we don't see the greatness in ourselves first.
Very true.
Other people do.
Very true.
And that hit me. So I was just like, man, like, people kept telling me, I can see you being an attorney. I can see you being a business owner, way before I even like got up and made the idea and the plan to do this. People see it first because God gave them that vision to see it.
You are right about that. And a lot of times it boils down to, we look at ourselves every day in a mirror, but how often do we really clean that mirror to really take a really good look at our true selves and our true embodiment of what we could be? I like what you said earlier about how people don't know how to market and brand themselves. And a lot of times we don't realize, we as individuals who walk around this earth every day, we are a brand. We don't even realize that. We think about company logos and slogans and, commercials we see. We think about social media numbers.
The big 500 companies.
Right. We think about the big followings on social media. We think all of that is something that's supposed to make us pop or make us known. But at the end of the day, it's your core. It's who you are as a person. That's your brand. We know about the golden rule. We heard about that growing up. The golden rule: do unto others as you want them doing it. You, right? But how many times have we thought about ourselves as a brand? Because I like what you said. You said a lot of times in marginalized communities, we don't know how to market and brand. So what are some things that you feel like we can do now, to brand and market ourselves a little bit better, going out there in those spaces? What are some things we could do?
First, on the internal aspect, give yourself grace. Do not beat yourself up and saying, oh, I haven't done this, I haven't gotten this. Because when we so are still focused on like, oh, I haven't accomplished this because of these reasons, or I'm 25 or I'm 39 and I haven't done this, we beat ourselves down. So give yourself grace. Understand that everything will work. It's time. So that's the internalized piece, giving yourself grace. And the second piece is dress and move like how you want people to treat you. And I know that is easier said than done, because some people are like, oh, I don't have the wardrobe and stuff like that. But you have to walk in that room and keep your head held high. Like, who's going to judge you? Who's going to judge you? Does your judgment matter? Does it pay the bill? No, it doesn't. The only judgment that matters is the one above, but fear nobody. So be who you are. You are destined for greatness, and everyone's greatness is different. So that's how you really brand yourself. That's every time I used to walk in any rooms or career fairs or any social events, like when I was in middle school, high school, and at Texas Southern University, I just remembered like to be myself and understand that they are not gonna, their judgment doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't.
So I want to tap in a little bit. You talked about wardrobe. Let's talk about that, because a lot of times you hear, people talk about, oh, well, that's the old way of thinking, right? Because you look at clothes that are trendy, that are new, that are out, like different styles that are out. And I like what you said. You said dress how you want people to treat you. Elaborate on that a little bit more, because I know even for me sometimes, I don't know if I need to be traditional, if I need to go new school, if I need to be neutral in a situation. But I try to gauge each situation and then dictate that. But I always walk in a room with power and knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think people kind of gravitate to me because of that. But a lot of times in social situations and even sometimes in professional situations, people really don't know how to dress in order to get their respect. What are some tips that you would give them?
So on the professional side, I know they say like, try not to show any private or like intimate areas. Like, cover up a little bit more. There's dress for success, and there's also different places that are willing to give people free clothing and free things for businesses, academic purposes as well. So we do have access to resources in our Black and brown community now compared to back then. Yeah. So we have that. And when I say dress like how you want people to treat you, like if I'm going to wear shorts to a professional event, the connotation behind that's not going to be the way I want it to be.
Got it.
So we just have to be a little bit more mindful, that's all. Like, your individuality should never be stripped. It should never be taken away. But just understand, if you want to be a boss, if you want people to take you serious, you have to, within, have grace, because that same grace that you have for yourself is going to come through your words. It's going to show through your confidence or show who you are. And then when you dress the part, you're going to be an unbeatable brand.
Magic. Mm-hmm. This is why I love her energy, right? Because it's infectious in a way where it's subtle. I don't know if you get that. Like your energy is very infectious, but it's very subtle. It's one of those things that kind of like warms you up like a blanket, like it kind of covers you like a blanket. And I think that's one of the reasons why I admire you, because you have the it factor. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, being a businesswoman in business, and I've been in this space for a real long time, you rarely see the youth come out and have that it factor. And yeah, everybody's right. Yeah, I see you, future politician, future mayor, future governor. I see all of that, but I always see you as a person of community first, because those are the spaces in which I got to know you in, and I've seen your growth throughout the years. And when I say it's been one of those things, like I'm glad to be a wallflower. You know what I mean? Like I'm glad to kind of have
You're part
that.
of the village too.
I know, but I'm just saying, like I love your tenacity, because, and this is just, look, this is me giving her flowers, okay? Because I want to take that moment and do that. I've watched you work a room. I've watched you organize things that are a little chaotic at an event. I've seen you do it quickly, right? But I've also seen you tap into that village that you talked about earlier, where you go and ask those questions. You even send text messages to me like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And every time you see me, you always have a question for me that's why I say thank you for being one of those young leaders in our next generation that's going to push forward and push the message about community and business forward, because I see it in you every time I see you. Like, every time. It's not a time that I see you and you don't have a question or you don't have a smile, and that you greet everybody in the room the same. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. You be fangirling, though. You fangirl over some people, but I get it. I get it. You fangirl over some people. I love it, okay? But the thing about it is that your heart is on display with every hug, every handshake, every greeting. Like, I've seen you work a room where you will go and talk to everybody in that room. I've seen it. And I'm just like, wait, how does she have the energy to do this, first of all? You know, and then this is the thing about it. You remember everybody's name. That's been the key for me. I've seen you do it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to practice a little bit more. I need to sharpen up, but I like it. And it's the thing. I've seen you jot down people's names if you know you're not going to remember. I've seen you do that. I've seen you ask for contacts. I've seen you do that. And you like, well, what makes you you? I've seen you ask that question a lot. And I'm like, wait, what really does make a person? Like, because you even asked me that one time. You was like, well, how did you get here? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm still trying to find my way. I don't know. It's just one of those things. But I love to see how you gravitate in spaces. I love to see the growth, and your company is so exciting. It's so exciting because it's so needed. It's needed, in my opinion, at the elementary, middle, high school level, college level, adult, you know, because, you know, I was a Toastmasters kid. You know, I love Toastmasters, right? Mm-hmm. But I love the fact that this goes beyond that. You know, Toastmasters, they give you the mechanics.
Yeah.
But you give people the heart. That's what I love about it. Like, you're teaching people to really tune in inside and not just deliver a message, but make sure it's concise, make sure that it's meaningful, make sure people understand and that your thoughts are truly coming across and that people understand your heart. I love that, because a lot of times you see people in business and they're doing the service, but you're doing the work too, but you're changing people on the inner as well as helping them be able to present. So I want to give you your flowers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
like,
you
I always
so
see what
much.
you do, and I was always impressed. Like, I knew you way before I started my business, way before TSU. So it's just like being around people and just always like seeing idols or seeing people who are doing it. That's why I always used to ask questions like, how did you get here?
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about yourself, because it's like I know no one's journey is the same.
No, and the brilliance of it is that we're all given these gifts, and we get to matriculate amongst each other and teach each other these different gifts and give our gifts out. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you, but to me that's like the ultimate life prize.
That is.
You know what I mean? Like, that's like
agree.
the ultimate life prize. That's just how I roll, you know? So I wanted to give you those flowers because the work you're doing is important, and I can't say it enough, because I can't wait to see where it is in the next 5, 10, 20 years. Like I can envision it in different states and in different cities, and I just see it, you know, global brand. That's what I see in the next 5. That's just me, right?
Yes.
But I love it. But I want to switch gears a little bit. We talked about inspiration. We talked about why you do what you do, right? So I want to change it up a little bit. I like to hear about different things about people, right? Because sometimes we have our professional name out there. We have our professional companies. People know all this different stuff. But they want to know the journey. They want to know a little bit about you, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do some questions that I call the fast track.
Okay.
All right? Okay, so the fast track is simply this. I'm going to ask you some questions that are, you know, to really intrigue you, but also for the audience to get to know a little bit more about you. So it's called the Fast 5. I don't want you to think about the responses, just kind of like the first response that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Okay? So let me grab my questions because, I always write down a few questions.
Like I said, she comes prepared, y'all.
Hey, listen, with Debra, you better come prepared. You better have some notes. You're going to have some notes, and because she's going to have some notes and some questions for you, so you got to have some notes. But this is called Rapid Fire. I like to get into the mind of the business owner because a lot of times the things that we do in our daily lives, it may inspire someone else, and our routines may inspire someone else. So these are just some questions just to tap into your business mind, your entrepreneurship mind, but also so people can understand and know a little bit about you.
Got it.
All right. So the first question I'm going to ask, what book changed your life perspective?
Define normal.
Ooh, okay. Look, she didn't even hesitate. If your business had a theme song, what would it be?
Make Me Proud by Drake.
Okay. So, what's your go-to business networking icebreaker?
Can anybody explain to me what is their why? Like asking people, what is your why?
Okay. All right. You're someone who's always on the move, on the go. How do you stay productive and also let it be meaningful?
Think about the overall goal and that what I'm doing is bigger than myself, to be honest.
Yeah. I like that. Okay. What's a skill that you wished you learned sooner?
Piano.
Really? Okay, now I don't usually stop at explanations. Why piano?
I feel like if I knew how to play the piano as a kid,
Yeah.
that would have really propelled me even more to have a theme song for my business or put like a musical component with it, because I feel like I'm gonna really make this business bigger than what it is in the next few years. So that would have add like a little artistic component to it, not just professional.
Ooh, okay. So we know a lot of music composers. So, what's the biggest risk you've taken so far?
Starting a business in my graduate program.
Ooh, okay, all right. So, what's the best business advice you've ever received?
My mentor, Dr. Doris Ellis Robinson, she said, "Your customers are your bank."
I love that. I love her. I do, right? How do you define success?
Through joy and impact. If I am loving what I'm doing and making a bigger impact in the lives of others, I'm really happy, because if I'm making others people happy and doing the work for him, the Lord, then I know the revenue will come in days, so I'm not really worried about that. The fiscal aspect, I mean.
I love that. I love that. What's your go-to power outfit?
A two-piece white suit from Zara, or like a two-piece black suit. When I'm wearing suits, or I have those types of colors on, like black or white, I feel more okay, yes, I'm ready to get this done.
I love that. As a new entrepreneur, how do you create a work-life balance for yourself? What does that look like for you?
It looks like yoga, looking at my Google Calendar to make sure everything's in line, making sure my clients are scheduled appropriately, and making sure I'm sending people feedback. Thank you so much for your time with Orbital Presentations. We look forward to seeing you for the next sessions. So that balance of making sure I'm good professionally and aligned, and making sure my clients are good.
Wow. Okay. In the morning when you get up, what's an affirmation that you tell yourself?
Thank you, God, for waking me up on this blessed day. I say that every time.
I love that. I love that. So if your business was a movie, right, what would the title be?
I don't know why Step Up came to mind, but the reason why, not because of the aspect of dancing, but understanding that you go through hardships, but how you overcome them, that's what really makes you who you are, makes what you do more impactful.
Ooh, I love that. How do you feel about competition?
I think it's fuel
Okay.
for improvement, to be honest.
I love that. I love that because a lot of people, they saw competition as a bad thing, and I always looked at it as a good thing too. And honestly, a lot of times I don't necessarily see competition. I see people I haven't collaborated with. You know what I mean? Like, I never see competition. I see people I haven't collaborated with. Like, oh, okay, that's somebody that's doing what I do.
Potential collaborations. So
Yeah.
or fuel for improvement, because it's like when I collaborate with those people, we both get to improve
Yeah.
our companies.
And we get something out of it too. And it's kind of like, okay, because you never know, like, the genius, the next genius in the room, the wisdom that's around you. Like, you never know who they are.
True.
Okay.
And everyone has a secret sauce. So let's share our sauces, I guess.
I like that. So I have to ask, when you talked about, like, one of the biggest things that you've done was, like, start the business and did your graduate program, right? Like, a lot of times people don't do things out of fear, and because they have this different fear thing, fear factor, or maybe they don't feel like they can do it. How is it that, or what's a way that you overcame that obstacle of fear?
For me, it's understanding that this was meant to help other people. So it's like whatever fear I had at the time, it's just like, okay, yeah, you got to put it to the side because other people need it. This is not just for you. Because I knew I wanted to start a business a long time, but knowing what it was, knowing what to start, like what's the motto, what's the name, who's the target audience, all those things, I feel like it came to me in a dream, or it came to me in some way during like my first year in my master's program at TSU. Some people are like, that really? You was in school trying to do this? I'm like, yeah.
No, I love it. I love it. So, like, when you're on the campus of Texas Southern, you're doing your master's, you're doing all those things, right? Like, how do you stop and connect with people, like, along the way? Like, say you're walking somewhere, like, how do you connect with people? How do you connect with the audience to even tell them about your business? Like, how do you do it? How do you bring it up?
So I'm just like, hey, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Or if I'm bringing someone on the Tiger Walk, I'm just like, hey, do you need help with your resume? They're like, yeah, how did you know? Or like, hey, are you looking for a job? You can always start off like that. Like, how's your resume? Or like, are you looking for a job? Of course, some people are going to be either looking for a job or an internship because that's the relatable component. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, so my business, we help with resume evaluations. We know how to help you make sure you get the next internship. So what internship are you interested in? Like, make it to where it's like, you're letting the person do the talking. Let them tell you their needs and you be the solution. So I've learned it's like when it comes to business and like talking to like different clients or potential customers, let them understand like, okay, you are what they need. Don't try to always just, oh, this is what we have. I've noticed a lot of like people tell me is just like, don't do that in the business world. Don't try to like just enforce it. Let it come naturally, like, because listen to them. Listening is a key aspect I learned, like, when it comes to entrepreneurship and running a business. You have to listen to your clients, listen to your customers, because people are trying to survive. They're trying to, like, live their life and find ends meet and go to work and stuff like that. So for them to stop and listen to you talk about your business, they have to find that interest. It starts with them understand, like, okay, this is something I'm interested in. So how do you bring the interest to them? I say, are you looking for an internship or a job? And that's how it starts.
Ooh, last question as a part of the Fast Track series, right? What's Debra's legacy in the next 20 years?
I think it goes back to another like motto that I live by. She believed she could, so she did. So I want to let other people know that once God decides to like calls me up, I want people to understand that if you believe you can, you will do. So I want them to see if I can do it, you can do it too. It wasn't impossible. It's something that's obtainable. You just gotta want it.
Ooh, look, nuggets. She giving y'all straight nuggets. I really hope you guys are writing this down, taking notes. She has given some nuggets. She talked about, branding yourself, being the person that you want to be. She talked about having that morning affirmation that she says every morning, where she's truly just thankful that she's there and her presence is there and that she gets to do the good work. I absolutely love that.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to ask you, you talked about your mentors earlier. Give me your top 3.
Dr. Doris Ellis Robinson, Dr. Thomas F. Freeman, and Dr. Linda Calloway.
So I'm a lover of music, and I know that you are too. What would be their theme songs if they were to come walking in this room and, everybody has to cheer them on when they walk through the door? What's their theme music?
Lean on Me. The reason why I say that just came so fast. The reason why I say that is because my mentors, they have always done things that other people wouldn't have done, but they are always so humble and so kind that they help the next person. So it's like I say lean on me because it's like when you're not strong, like they're going to be there to help you. Like, I don't know if people know, but Miss Robinson, she had laid down in the bricks for Freeman Sound. She literally laid down for the people. She wanted that community to lean on her.
Yeah.
Because she understood that something was bigger than her that was in front of her for her to make sure she was a solution for it. Dr. Thomas F. Freeman as well, being a part of the debate team or being a part of a time where it was segregated, he wanted his debaters, his community, his people to lean on him. And then Dr. Linda Calloway as well too. She wanted people to lean on her. And so I lean on them too when I'm not, 100% at my best in times like that, and they always make me feel strong.
Yeah.
And so
you're talking about legends here in Houston, they're legends, For those that are tuning in, I definitely want you to really, check them out, look them up. When I say they're legends, they are absolute legends. And the advice, especially Ms. Robinson, the stuff that she gives is something that people don't realize. You have one of the longest standing newspapers in the city of Houston, the Houston Sun. I want you guys to look that up, the Houston Sun. I have to say it's very thrilling every time you see it come out. And just to know that you have people that decided one day, hey, I'm going to start a newspaper.
All right.
You know what I mean? Hey, I'm going to be, the person that's over this debate team and we're going to do well. Hey, I'm going to go out and not only preach in my community, but lift each one up and show them different skill sets they can have and how they can really tap into their individual gifts that they already have. You don't need extra schooling, just tap into what you have. Like when Dr. Calloway is one of those people that you hear that from and you're like, wow, how amazing is that? So it is very important to have that village. I encourage everybody to go out and really find your village. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that they have to be, the top of the socio-economical educational platform. It's not about that. It's about really getting people that actually can push you forward, but you're pushing them too. Yeah. Because, man, when
and your peers can be part of your village too. Yeah. If you have people that are like-minded or some people you're like, oh, wow, this person is really on their A game, not even just on a financial aspect or a political aspect. If you see that person's on their A game, ask them, get to know it. I know it's some people that get jealous and or shy away from wanting to learn from somebody, but we are always students. Even when you leave the academic setting, you are always students. So understand that. That's how you can be able to find your village.
And that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Every day I try to figure out how can we do something more. And even people that I meet, I try to figure out how can I push them forward and, pull at the same time. I want to push and pull, right? So, because, I tell you, I've learned some great things for some people that I just kind of walk up to and just said hi to. Hey, how you doing? People never realize how much a smile, a compliment, or even just saying hello really does a lot for someone's day. Yeah. Well, Deborah, as we wrap up, I want you to look into that camera right there and give 3 pieces of wisdom from you that you want the audience to tap into.
Okay, so 3 pieces of advice. The first advice is you can do anything you put your mind to. Remember that. Second, gravitate towards a more improved version of yourself. We are here to help you. You are not alone. I know this journey can be tough, but lean on us. And third, remember, you can do it. Just do it. Nike says just do it. So don't let fear hold you back. Just do it. So those are my 3 components for them.
Absolutely love that. So how can people contact you, book with you, connect with you, and get this greatness?
Yeah, so you can call us at 832-356-3570, or hit us at our website, OrbitualPresentations.com, or follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, and that is Orbital Presentations. So make sure to stay connected with us because we will be having our next Standing on Business and Professionalism webinar this coming summer to help people understand what it means to be professionally or business savvy. We have people from different realms who are not just in entrepreneurship, but who are skilled individuals in their own lives that can give you tips. So we are here to help everyone.
Thank you. I want to thank you for being my guest today on the Business Knowledge Broker Hour.
Thank
you so much. You know, as we wrap up this episode, I just want to say thank you to Debra for being our guest for today. This is the thing. Each and every last one of us have gifts. Sometimes we just got to tap into it a little bit more. She taught us today about having a village. She talked about today about being a brand, how to, gravitate towards people and figure out how, you guys can really work together to make this world work. She talked about being at your best when you walk out the door, when you open your mouth, and just being a great person and a great steward within the community and helping all those spaces. Remember, we got your back, and we love you. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nah, that's powerful, though.
No, thank you. Because it's like, I know this wasn't easy. Like I said, I know you probably have, other people, but it's just like, I was, on it, but it's just like you also being, receptive to, my messages and, my interest. That was really appreciated. So thank you so much.
No, because the thing about it is that I took some time away, from the mics, from the cameras and things like that, and just kind of did some of the obligatory things that I had, right? So things I was already contractually obligated to do. I wanted to kind of hone in a little bit, but I wanted to get people like you on the show because people need to know about the things that you have. We always think about, we think about different types of lanes, but this is one that everyone needs as well. Like even myself, I feel like I need that help, right?
You sure? You sure?
I'm just saying because I feel like a lot of times, sometimes I go to events and I know I speak in front of people, I do those kind of things, but even sometimes when I get off stage, I'm calculating, I'm gauging in my head, did I say the right thing? Was the message clear? Because that's always important to me. I want to be a great communicator, but I want to be effective as well. But I want to be more, I feel like I need to be more efficient in that area. But that's just, maybe that's just a self-critique, right? But the work that you're doing is important because we live in a society of you got to get it quick now.
Yeah.
You got to get the messages out quick. When I see stuff on social media, I'm surprised at how fast it goes.
We're in a very fast-paced time right now. And people are they want quick results, but that's not how it works. That's why I tell people, the first thing I tell people is, give yourself grace because it's, more of an internalized thing first. And, you, it's just, when you speak, you do a great job. And the fact that you're oh, was I effective? So it goes back to, you're not giving yourself grace. You're too busy worrying about, if those other people who you think are judging you, if they perceived it right, but in reality, you got there, you understood the mission, you did what you're supposed to do. Now, I guarantee you, when you look back at those videos, you're like, that was me. And it goes back to us being so baffled that we are executing it, but because we're not giving ourselves that grace.
Yeah, that's true. And I think a lot of times, and I'm glad you kind of said that because a lot of times I feel like I am giving myself grace when really in probably all practicality I'm not, Yeah. And I recognize that, I recognize those things that need that self-improvement. And right now I'm going for it. And I sat down, I planned all this out. I planned out the return of my podcast and radio show. I planned it out. And like I said, for you to be the first guest, man.
That's why I said I feel so honored. I feel really honored.
The thing about it is that it's going to be amazing. When people see this interview, it's the power within it. It's the power within your words. But at the same time, it's like I see, like everybody around you see your genuine heart, but it's like for the energy that you bring in and the skill set that you bring in, just your skill set alone changes the game. Like, I don't think you understand. That's why I was like 5, 10, 20 years in the future, like where you want to be, because I see it so much bigger and clearer. And, you know, like, I'm not going to sit here and say like I'm a good, I think that I spot talent, but for me to see like the future in someone when I see it in your face, it's crazy. Like I cannot wait to see what develops and what happens. I want to tell you, I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can't wait to collab in the future again.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna have fun doing it. And the thing of it is, we just have to figure out a way of how we want to do it, because, like workshops, yes.
Yes, I would love to host a workshop here, or like
You can. You can host one here.
Okay.
Just give me a date. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point in having access to those things if we're not going to utilize them? What's the point in that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind if anybody wants to do anything here, as long as it's something that's productive, something that's great, something that's meaningful, something that can create impact. Like, that's what I want people to see. I want people to get it. And I just feel like sometimes we shouldn't let certain things hold us back from getting those things done. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care if it's 5 people in here. Create the impact, create the movement, and get it going. Guess 300. Like, I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited. Okay, Jimmy, how we do this?
I'm so impressed. You've been doing this for 5 years. That's not easy at all. That is not.
Fluke.
You've been giving me my flowers. What about you?
What you mean?
5 years of this? That
Yeah.
shows your dedication, your determination. That's not easy.
But you know what? Fluke. But I had great people, right? Like, I got Jimmy. I got Greg. My best friend, Brandy. Like, people on my team. People that I've met, like, in the league. People in IOTA, like, people in Sigma Gamma Rho. Like, I don't even think you understand. Like, honestly, this is cheat code. Since we're recording, I guess I can say this.
Your secret sauce.
My secret
Begin
sauce,
to know the
right?
secret sauce.
I try to imitate the best women that I know and the best men that I know when I walk in a room. That's it. That's it. Like, people see the glasses, they see the crazy jackets, the crazy hats, they see all of that, right? But I'm emulating some of the great people that I've seen. Like, my dad always, like, people always get on me about wearing suits, but I saw how people respected my dad when he walked through the door in a suit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then I also liked how people saw people like Elton John and Luther Vandross in the sparkly suits.
The colors.
And the colors. That's why I wear them.
So that's what I'm saying. Is it's like you was dressed like how you want people to take you, professional, but then your individuality is still spokes for you.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know you for the hats, the glasses.
Yeah.
Like the crystal cane. Like,
That's
nobody wear like you. Nobody does it like you. So even when you're like emulating those people, it's just like who you are still shows when you speak, when you present yourself, because that's who you are.
And the thing about this, most people don't know I'm an introvert.
What? You
Like,
sure?
hardcore.
Sure.
Positive.
You can be a
hardcore.
moderate because you give extrovert.
I give extrovert vibes, right? But for, like, in my core, like, every day I'm jeans and t-shirt. Very just kind of there, listening to music with a laptop, sitting here at the office or, anywhere else that I'm at. Like, I just kind of vibe out and I work. And people be like, wait, you don't hear none of the chaos around you. Like, I can go to a restaurant. I've done it before. I've been in a club and pulled out a laptop to start working.
Oh, come on,
You know what I mean?
determination. She said,
Hey, I'm going to get this
she said, I'm
done.
going to cancel this noise out.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we're going to party in a minute. Hold on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But it's like I vibe out, I zone. Like, when I say I love marketing, I love branding, I love it. Like, I study my craft, like I eat it. Like, in order for me to be a better podcaster, I had to watch more podcasts. I had to take classes on journalism. I had to take classes on how to give news reports. And people didn't realize, like, when I learned how to do the news report, it helped me learn how to be a better red carpet host. You thinking, okay, the news, red carpet, how does that relate, right?
It does.
But it does, but most people won't see it. But I had to go out and learn extra skills, and I had to sit here and think about who are the greatest of the greats that do this. And so I had to study them in order to kind of come out and go, rah.
Because when you step, you're like, hi, okay, tell me about, okay. So,
Yeah.
so I get it. It's like you had to study your craft. It's just like, somebody said you have to move like how, or like, you have to already emulate what you want to be before you become it.
Yeah.
So you've been doing that.
I know, and it just kind of fluke. When I tell everybody, like, okay, me giving speeches, fluke. Everybody said, well, why are you surprised? Like my best friend, she used to say it all the time. Like, why are you surprised these things are happening? Why are you surprised you're getting these awards? Why are you surprised? And I'm thinking to myself, say, what now? Like, who are they talking? They talking about me? Me.
You like, you sure me?
You sure it's me?
But it's like, it goes back to our community. We don't really give ourselves our flowers.
And maybe so. And I think that probably is a part of it, because I don't even think about it that way. I just look at it like, I want to do good work. I want to be remembered as someone who did good work, somebody that stepped in and did what they had to do, regardless of the limitations I had. So that was always my thing. I just wanted to just do it. I wrote out a list of things when I was 19 years old, and I've been checking them off ever since. And I got like 5 things left, and then I'm good to go.
What's the 5 things?
Okay, so I did them, but I haven't published. I wrote 2 books, but I haven't published. I know, right? I want my own magazine, which I've started but haven't published. But it's reasons why. I want to skydive. I want to go to South Africa. So those are the 5. So, but everything else on the list that I wrote when I was 19, I did it. Because I work in a state of completion. I just want to complete it. I don't care if I don't make money. I don't care if it means nothing to
like
anybody
you're
else.
content with it. It's like you, it's that,
Yes.
and that's another thing too, contentment. Because it's like, if you're content with what you have,
Yeah.
or like content and like you want to achieve this, and once you achieve it, you're happy.
Yeah.
That fulfillment, that's great. And some people don't
care.
Some people don't really get contentment or like are satisfied with what they have.
Because my thing was, like, I started a company, I started this firm to see if I could start a firm and work with a group of people, when in the past it was just me and a backpack and a laptop. So I just wanted to see if I can do it, but it was really out of necessity. Being on a cane, you're kind of limited in how far you can drive. You're limited in regards to travel, plane-wise, all of that. So I was like, man, I need a group of people that can go run through an airport and catch a flight. You know, if we got a client in New York and somebody need to get there now. You know, I had to kind of really re-image and rethink about what I wanted, but I wanted something that I felt like everybody could kind of build on, but then be each other's guinea pigs at the same time. So that's why I did it. And I wanted to see if I could do it, because I had a lot of businesses that failed in the past 20 years, but each one taught me something more about myself, but it also taught me about the skill set that I needed. Or, like you said, to create that village with people with a skill set that I don't have. And I've done that, and it's been some ups and downs, but it's been fun. Like, I don't have any like issues with it.
It's like you enjoy. It's like sorry. It's like,
I mean, it's all going. You still picking up.
It's like you enjoy the journey, not the destination.
There you go.
And that's something that we have to remember. Enjoy the journey. Not the destination.
Because at the end, you never know what the destination is going to look like in the end. So why not enjoy it? And the success looks different for everybody. The space looks different for everybody. The vibe is different for everybody. So why not just go for it? Look, I just go for it. I don't even care.
You
like,
just do it. You did it.
I don't care. Like, people are like, oh, I'm trying. I'm like, no, do. Don't try. Do. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to get Jimmy to film the promos, and then we're out. Okay, Jimmy, sir, we are done.